Alright everyone, so this is the daily puzzle for July 29th, 2022. Straight to the top. Let's see what we got here. So, we are playing as black, and this is a very precarious situation. What I am seeing right now is that if I try to do a rook c1 check, white is just going to take with their bishop. And white can't really do rook a8 because my king will just, my king can actually escape to, here, I think, because this space is defended by this pawn, and obviously this would be no good. Well, this is a, let's see, this is a Friday puzzle, so these tend to be pretty difficult, because Mondays are the easiest, and then they get progressively more difficult as the week goes on. There is the ludicrous idea of, there is the ludicrous idea of bishop takes g2. And then if the king takes, because if I go bishop takes g2 and then the king takes, I actually don't know what I would do after that. But what I do know is if something isn't done about this rook, I'm gonna get mated. I'm gonna get mated very soon. So, let's see. This pawn is covering these two squares, so I can't bring the rook there. Although, I do feel like my first move is going to involve this rook in some form or fashion. I just don't know what it might be. Because if the rook goes here, if my rook takes, then it'll just, then the king takes and it's just dead. I mean, I guess there's also the idea of, like, pushing this pawn, and then takes. I don't know. Let me take the hint on this one. Oh, okay, so I pushed this pawn. Push the b pawn. Let's see. We got rook g7 check. So I gotta get my king out of the way, but I can't just take. So what I'll do is... Actually, if I do king h8, and white tries to play rook g8 after that, I can just do bishop takes, right? No? Okay, that's interesting. That means one of the only two possible moves has to be either king f8 or king f7. Actually, no, king f7 doesn't work. Right, so I have to do king f8. White just played... Let's see. White just played rook takes h7. Is this... No, this isn't the point where I deliver the check because this pesky bishop is in the way. It's just gonna kill my rook if I try to deliver a check. The other idea I have is to maybe walk the king away from the rook. Or I could bring the bishop in and have it defend these two squares next to the king. And if the rook takes, then my king takes and the rook is dead. No? Because I'm not giving up my rook. Oh, push the pawn again. Really? Okay. So b2. Ah, okay. So push the pawn and then block the... Bro, what? Okay. Wait. Bishop a2. That guards the square in front of the pawn, so if it promotes, the rook doesn't just take straight away. What? Oh, now I move the rook. Rook c1 check? And then promote? Or do I do bishop a2 now? I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, it wants me to... It wants me to push the pawn again. What the hell do I promote? Oh, wait a minute. I'm an idiot. Alright, well... This is why, I mean, the pawn, I just take, and the king is gonna die when I bring the bishop, or I just take the pawn, or something. If you try to bring the rook, the king dies and the queen goes, and you just move all the pieces and bring the bishop, and the king is dead on the second round. Okay, okay. This is why I will never be GM, guys. But anyway, this daily puzzle was extremely difficult. Let me know if you guys solved it on your first attempt. Unlike me, who had to take a hint for every goddamn move.